Hey there, Albie. I forgot to turn the mic on. I'm there talking to everybody. Nobody's hearing me. Yeah, I'm back on. Getting ready to paint some underspins here in just a bit. Okay, I'll get my list out. We'll do silver, gold, pink. Got the pink. I got the Mad Shads. So what all do I need here? I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 27 of the reds. Let me get the chartreuse in here. I'll be painting that up here in just a bit. 27 reds. Do I have 3 packs hanging on the wall? Yep, I sure do. Okay, so I need 27 of these. Again, I appreciate everybody coming in. Thank you guys. We got 53 people in here. There we go. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to pull the silicone tube off after I bake them. They will get baked with the silicone. Hey, welcome in. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming in. Hey there, Clint. Welcome in. I thought I heard my wife behind me. Hey there, Patrick. I'm making a beef stroganoff. Making fishing lures. These are 1/16 ounce with a underspin on them. These have a bait keeper. They're for plastics. These are going to get eyes on them. Hey, welcome in. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a disco red. I'm going to grab me a quick drink over here, guys. So I got to do 27 of these. Appreciate everybody. Hey there, Gary. How you doing? These are 1/16 ounce heads. Ooh, I forgot to put the shrink tubing on this one here. Oh, I don't see how I missed that. Well, I'll have to clean it off later. I am using silicone tubing on these. I do use a shrink tubing for the eyelets on these because of the way I have to dip it in there. And I try to keep the paint out of the swivel. So these will get baked up here in just a little bit. They're going to go in the oven with the silicone plastic on there. And then when they do come out of the oven, I'll go ahead and pull the silicone tubing off of it. And I should be able to reuse the silicone tube. I kept losing signal. Yeah, that happens too. That happens on my end too sometimes. We actually had a brief power outage for about a second or so. We've had that happen a couple of times this week. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a limb that's hitting the wiring or what. She's doing better. She's doing better. She's just tired. She has some health issues and stuff with her, like an autoimmune type thing with her thyroid. And it frustrates her because she's just drained and tired all the time. But she'd been battling the flu or something recently. And so she, is feeling a lot better from that, but she's just always tired and drained. I'm just not really used to her like this. I'm still, even though she's had it for a couple of years, she's just always been vibrant and full of energy and stuff. Get some of these moved. Make room for these here. I guess it's something that happens when you get older, I guess. I don't know. She's just tired of being tired, Yeah, just keep her in the prayers, guys. All my wiring's underground. Oh, really? I mean, the wiring to our house here is underground, but, we got power lines, that connect to our house. Not directly to the house, but there's a pole outside that it all connects to. And then once it, how'd I say? Once it from the house to, to the pole is all underground. I know when I lived out in Florida, they didn't have any power lines. Everything was underground. And that was because of all the hurricanes and stuff. This one's just a red-headed jig. It's just an underspin with a bait keeper. These are for plastic baits. I haven't had time to tie any hand-tied underspins. I think we have most of them in stock, but we do have some underspins with hand-tied lures. But these are for plastic baits. Yeah, these are good. These are going to be going to Florida here. We're probably going to get another order this Tuesday or Wednesday from our Florida stores. We have a salesperson in Florida that has a long-lasting salesmanship to a bunch of stores down there, and he's been the one that's been hooking me up with all these stores. He also has he's part owner of Reaper Rods, but he sells oh, what is it, Bass Assassin plastics. He doesn't make them, but he kind of works with them like he worked with us. Four, 4. Well, how did it come out that I only need 27 of these? There's 3 to a pack. 6 times 4 is 24. 25, 26. Okay, I'll just need 3 more, or 2 more now. I'll probably come back to this red here. I want to make sure I got enough of these jig heads for all the colors. So I may be coming back to this red here. Oh yeah, from the pole to the house, it's all underground. Yeah, that's the way it is here. This here again is a 1/16 ounce. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to clean a lot of the 1/8 ounce heads. Okay, just like that, these are gonna go in the oven. Okay, the next color is silver. We gotta do 30 silvers. Okay, where's my disco silver? Hey there, Kellett, welcome in. Okay, we gotta do 5 rows of these. Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Flow Show. I got to eat some of the cake my wife made for me. She made me a German chocolate cake, and it's pretty good. I liked it. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever eaten German chocolate cake, but I like it. And she made it really good. It's really moist. And I know she got some ice cream. I may have some of that later on, but I may hold off till tomorrow on the ice cream. But it is really good. I got a good wife. I don't know if you guys if I ever talk about her a whole lot, but she's a really good lady. Oh, you're part German? Yeah. I like it. It's good. My mom used to make that for me. She said it was my favorite, but I don't know. As long as she made it, as long as it tasted good, is good. I guess it's my favorite, but my wife's kind of carried the mantle on that. Another cake I like eating is a pineapple upside down cake, and I think that's what my wife made me last year. I love eating pineapple, upside down pineapple cake. My wife doesn't, but she'll make it for me. Yep, it is good. Hey, Kimmy Kim, how's it going? I'm just doing these underspin lures. These are for plastic baits. I got to do 30 of these, and then I may come back to this color too, because I want to make sure I got enough. I got 4 colors I got to do, and I'm pretty sure I have enough underspin heads to get all the colors I need. If we have extras, I'm going to fall back on these colors. Chocolate cake is actually named after a man named German whose chocolate was used. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's not like a dark chocolate cake, and my wife used like a cake mix for it, and it's kind of like a light chocolate. It's really good. At first, I cut into it, and I thought, "Man, is it supposed to look like this?" And she said, "Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like." I'm like, "Okay," and it's really moist. What's everybody's favorite cake in the channel? What kind of cakes do you guys like? My brother-in-law, he's not a cake guy. He's more of a pie guy. So when we were younger, that's my brother-in-law. Um, we used to all get together at my mother-in-law's house for the birthdays, and I think his favorite was like a Boston cream pie. I like the Texas sheet cake. Oh yeah, those are good too. Yep. I got more free jig making stuff. Oh, cool. We are going to do our next drawing on Thursday, this Thursday night. It's going to be after 6 p.m. I'm going to go live at 6, and then we'll do the drawing sometime after that. Ah, well, cool. I appreciate that. I do. I really do appreciate that. I know I give out tips and pointers on how to make lures, and if it helps any younger person or anything like that. Um, there's just a lot of young people that don't know how to do a whole lot. And it kind of gets them away from video games and you got to have, you know, there's going to have to be people, you know, in the next generation that make baits, especially hand ties, because you just don't. It's something that you just really can't make. There's been machines that have attempted to make lures, but they don't do that good of a job as far as hand tied lures. And so there's always going to be, you know, a real person making hand tied baits. You know what? Maybe I need to just skip this and go on over here. Let's just do that. Just skip a row. That way it makes life easier on me. And I don't have to worry about them colliding into each other. So I really get happy when I start seeing, you know, young people make baits. For a few years, I'm starting to make buzz baits. Oh yeah, buzz baits are good to make. Yeah, Albie's getting into making baits, and there's a few other people that are starting to make baits and stuff. I got to do 30 of these. That means 5 rows. Acid stripe. Oh, well, cool. I'm making sinkers too. Yep. I had friends of mine in you know, junior high and high school that uh, they they were the ones that got me into catfishing and and getting really hardcore into catfishing, and they used to pour sinkers. Their dad did it. Their dad ran trout lines. Occasionally their dad would go out on a boat, did bass fishing and catfishing and stuff, and they got into it, and I got to go on the boat a few times with them. We never had a boat growing up, but I had friends of mine that had boats. You make non-bait holders too? What do you mean, with the bait keeper? Yeah, that's what I do. I make a lot of jig heads without bait keepers too, for hand-tied lures. Lost all my molds. Oh no, that's no good. Uh, yeah, we do sell jig heads without bait keepers on them. We do sell jig heads. We don't sell any with eyes, but we do sell the round heads. It's just a lot. It's a big undertaking because it's hard enough trying to keep up with orders, and then for me to make jig heads with eyes for customers, you know, for them to tie, it's just hard for me to keep up with a lot of stuff. So but I try to do what I can. Yep, Tackle Bandit has molds. Yeah, they sure do, Albie. They got a bunch of molds. They got them with bait keepers, without bait keepers. They have a lot of sinker molds. They have molds for making bass lures. Yep, if you ever do go to Tackle Bandit, and that's tacklebandit.com, you can use my code. I have a discount code, which is FLOW10, FLO10. You'll be able to save 10% there. That's at tacklebandit.com. Shrimp chips. Shrimp. Oh, cool. Hey there, Nolan. Yep. Got to get ready to go live because I'm going to do that. Oh, okay, cool. Flow, FLO. That's at Tackle Bandit. FLO10. No space in between. Flow 10. Yeah, you can get, rods and reels and all kinds of stuff there too. If you need bass rods, or they do have our catfish poles there, and they do have our crappie poles too. I don't know how they are with their shipping, but we do have our catfish poles and crappie poles on sale. Oh yeah, you're welcome. It's Flow 10, FLO10. The FLO is, those are the first three letters of my last name, Flores. It kind of throws people off sometimes. Oh, thanks for the 100. Appreciate that. All those add up. They do add up. All those pennies and all that, they do add up. Yep, thank you for the W's. Hey there, Victoria. How are you doing there? Yeah, tomorrow sometime I'll be putting eyes on these. So the next couple of days on my live stream, they're going to be more focused on these type lures. They're going to be very focused on these. So you guys will get to see me put eyes on a lot of baits. So if you're wanting to learn how to do eyes, you can see how I do them. We got 84 people in the chat. I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to be here for a while doing these. So I'm going to try to get a late day in, and that way I don't have to work too late during the week. Plus, another thing is I got to get these, I want to get these shipped out by Tuesday. I'm hoping I can get this order shipped out by Tuesday. And then after that, I'll be working on I call them custom orders, but they're not way too custom, you know. One of them is for 200 jigs for Gray Ghost. They went ahead and ordered a bunch of Gray Ghost. And then the other one is a mystery jig box. I got to do a 1/32 ounce box. They're not in any big rush as long as it gets to them by the 1st of February. That's when they'll start fishing for their crappie. I'm trying to get my bait company to sell a lot of baits, but I do not have a website because of taxes. Oh, really? Because of taxes? Yep. That's one thing. If you are a bait maker, you got to pay taxes. Yeah, I got, this week is tax week coming up, and I got to pay my excise taxes. That's a big thing. If you're a bait maker and you get caught not paying your excise taxes, that is a lot of money there. They do penalize you, not just for back taxes, but for basically fines and stuff like that. If you can get by without paying your taxes, that's some bravery there. But I'm not. Oh, you're not old enough? Well, yeah, you can sell baits if you're not. I don't know what the age requirement. I'm thinking it's either 15 or 18 for you to be able to pay taxes, and there is an allowance of, I think, about $5,000 that you can earn before you have to start paying your taxes. So I think that's the number. I could be completely wrong with that. I'm not a tax person. I know about our taxes, and that's about it. But I do know that there's some leniency as far as federal and state taxes if you're a minor. But there comes a point to where you got to pay them if you make more than what they allow you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to go to the next color. Next color is going to be gold. We got to do 30 gold. Okay, so let's get the ones out of the oven. Let's get these in the oven. So we're going to be pulling off the silicone from this next batch of lures. So we could turn that dude off. Let's get our little niblets over here thrown in the trash. Let's get this moved over here. Okay, we got to get these Gray Ghost jigs out of the way. And now we got the slow part. We're going to be pulling the silicone tubing off of these swivels. Okay, get that over there. Okay, let's get these dudes pulled off. That's what we got there. That's our little silicone tubing. Look, it already broke free there. Let's just pull these off. Let's see how easy they pull off. They should pull off relatively clean. There we go. Look at that. Free flow swivel. Look at that. It took me, I don't know how many years to get this right. But it took me a while to get it right. So we're going to go ahead and pull these off. See right there, we got to break it loose. And then we could pull this dude off. Come on now. Here we go. We got another perfect one right there. So I have been playing around with the silicone tubing, and I haven't had the right size. So finally I got the right size. So it works out really good. Look how good that looks there. It's free flowing. We've been using shrink tubing, and I went ahead and baked it with the shrink tubing on here, and it worked okay, but it took forever to get that shrink tubing off. This silicone, it basically hugs the swivel perfect. Hey there, Josie, how you doing? Hey there, Remington. Grab my pliers. Now it pulls off here. Oh my goodness, this is like a game changer here, folks. These are going to be perfect. And I can't remember the dimensions of the shrink tubing. I got them from Amazon, and I was kind of worried because they were food grade. I didn't know if they would hold up to heat that well, but these tubes are going to be reusable, so it'll save me a little bit of money, and I won't be throwing money away with as much shrink tubing. And then I got some other shrink tubing that's going to be for the eyelets. So when I get done with the not shrink tubing, but when I get done with the shrink tubing, I'll be putting some silicone plastic on the eyelets soon. So that'll help out too. Yep, welcome in. Yeah, look at that. It's just perfect. We're going to have some good spinners on them. Doing good. Just about to make dinner. What are you making for dinner? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing A-okay. We didn't have any dinner. We had a we had a really big breakfast. So I have not been hungry all day. Uh-oh. Look at that. That is just so much of an improvement from what I've been doing. That is just a super game changer right there, guys. And I did, before the live stream, measure these silicone tubes, basically a half-inch long. Half-inch long. What is the website that you get your molds from again? Just tacklebandit.com. That's where I get my my do-it molds. Tacklebandit.com. Now the pillhead molds, I don't give that mold away. I don't give that site. I don't make any money or anything on that. They don't give me any discount code or anything. Man, those came out clean. Look at those. Take a gander. Okay, let's do some gold. We're going to go to gold. Okay, where's my disco gold? Disco gold. Where is my disco gold? Okay, we got to do 30 gold, and then we get to do basically 36 of the chartreuse. Hey there, Spunky. Oh, my wife's gonna love these because she She paints jigs, and she does a really good job with it. But these are going to be a big game changer for our lure painting abilities. Hey there, Colette. You left a jig in the silicone bits. Did I? Did I leave a jig in the silicone bits? I sure did. Look at that. Man, you were watching, weren't you? Oh my goodness. Look at that. We need to hire you and put you in the quality control. I did not even catch that. I would have been short one jig. I would have been freaking out. Oh my goodness. You guys throw some W's up there. Good night. I'm going to bed early. Oh my goodness. Golly, old lady Victoria there. Oh, you have a good night. Get some rest. Stamp and stitch. All you need is one my hubby's custom rods. Oh, cool. I've never had a custom rod. That's one thing I've never had. Okay, that's our disco gold right there. Those will get some red eyes. I got church in the morning. Yeah, we may go to church tomorrow morning. I got to get these orders out, but we need to go to church. Normally, guys, we do go to church. But when I have these big orders and stuff, and my wife's not feeling good, we may not make it tomorrow. What kind of rods does your husband make? Stitch and stamp? Stamp and stitch? He's been making his own rods for, 35 years. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you reuse them or throw them away. I'll reuse the silicone tubes. I will reuse them. Wraps handles of cues. Oh, cool. You talking like for pool? Well, that seems like that would be kind of cool. Like pool sticks. I had a lot of people tell me, why don't you do custom rods? And I'm like, if I do custom rods, I won't get to make lures anymore. And I love making lures. I would not have a great time making rods because they take so long to make. But then again, who knows? I'd probably get pretty good at it, and I'd be cranking out 10 rods a day. Makes casting and spinning. Oh, okay. We do have our own rods out, which are we have crappie poles and catfish poles. But, you know, I am hopefully one day going to be getting a forward-facing sonar, and I'll probably be using longer poles. But right now, we only have 7-footers and 4-footers right now. As far as our crappie poles, the catfish pole is a 7'8" that we sell. It is our own brand. We just don't sell a whole lot of them. We sell some, but if we sold a bunch of them, I would probably end up getting different sizes, more sizes made up. But we just don't sell enough of them right now to justify me, you know, getting a new rod made. But I do other stuff. I go snagging for paddlefish and things like that too. You can do one a week. Yeah, that's the thing, is those rods take forever. I mean, I'm just kidding about cranking out 10 rods a day, you know. But I have friends of mine, swamp sticks and KB rod, or what is it, KD rods, I believe. And I see the time that they put on those poles. I mean, I see why they charge what they charge too, because, you know, they do take a while to make. What's the name of your husband's business? Your 7-foot ultralight, yeah, yep. Oh, really? He doesn't? Oh. Yeah, I do know they take a while to make. We got one guy here in town in Claremore that he makes custom rods. He's made them for, he's made like those big old tuna rods for people on Wicked Tuna and other people. He's offered to make me a rod, but I just don't want to spend the money. You know, I just don't want to spend the money. Plus, we got our own poles out too, so, you know. A largemouth of Ruben stuff. Oh, cool. Yep. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Did I just do what? Oh, I did. Oh, my goodness. I just dropped it in the powder coat. Am I going to be able to save it? I sure hope I could save it. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to save this one here, guys. Oh, my goodness. You guys saw that. That's 2 times in 1 week I've dropped the hook in the powder coat. I don't know if I'll be able to save this one here. I might. We'll have to see. Oh my, oh my. Yeah, we'll see how that one turns out. I may have to redo one here. I'll see how that comes out here in just a little bit when it comes out of the oven. Yeah, we got a 7-foot crappie pole and a 4-foot crappie pole. The 4-footer is more for dock fishing. I mean, you could use it. I use my 4-footer on the pole on the boat all the time, but and then we got a 7'8" catfish pole. That's a 2-piece. Keep melting it, yeah. Might have to go ahead and dip one extra so you have one. Yeah, I'm going to do that here in a little bit. I'm going to see how they come out of the oven, because these are going to be going in the oven here in just a little bit. Yeah, that's why I'm only doing the exact amount that I need, because I'm going to have extras the way it looks like. And I'll come back around. I may have some extras already to my right. Okay, let's get the fans on. Get these dudes cooled down. Yeah, that's twice in 1 week that I've dropped the jig head. The other one I couldn't keep. Yeah, it was still kind of way too hot, and it took on too much paint, and I ended up just chucking it. But it didn't have a swivel on it or anything like that, so these will be okay. I'm just going to have one head that may be just a little bit bigger. Talking about big heads, my head keeps My head keeps bumping into the phone. So I will be doing the 1/8 ounce. Sometime tomorrow I'll be doing the 1/8 ounce heads with an underspin. But I am really, really pleased with how the silicone tubing pulled off the swivel. And the swivels looked really clean. Well, oh, you gotta go? We'll catch you later, Gary. I've always wanted to say this, Gary. Don't take it personal, but don't let the door hit you. Just kidding. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Oh, man. Up. Now, you have a good night, man. You have a good night. Good night. Going to watch the Bears kick Green Bay's butt. Oh, my goodness. They did beat them last time, didn't they? But I think you got more healthy people on Green Bay, except for Micah Parsons. Oh, you're out of Green Bay? Or, I mean, are you from Wisconsin or are you from Green Bay? I mean, either way, you're in Wisconsin, but I was just talking about, I lived up in Wisconsin for a little bit years ago. I was talking about my friends that were going to feed me some Wisconsin brats. And we went to the grocery store to go get some brats. And it was basically the Johnsonville brats. And I'm like, these are the same brats we get in Texas. You know, there's no difference. These Wisconsin brats are Texas brats. I have some in my cart ready to hit send, but it might be next week. Short check from not working. Oh, yeah. Okay, we got to do 30 of these. And then we got to do 36 of the chartreuse. So we will be coming back around to this color. I think we're going to have plenty of extras. Hey there, Panfish. I'm just sitting here powder coating, trying to get this big old order out. Yeah, this is that silicone tubing I had shared with you. They came off clean. The swivel was clean. It worked out perfect. These are the number 10 swivel, I believe. I think it's the number 10 swivel. Yeah, it worked out good. I was pulling off the sleeve just a while ago. You know what? I'm going to touch this one up. I'm going to put a little more paint on this here. I'll get one of these tubes here. Go back on. I'm going to put a little more paint. There's a little, it's a little too translucent. There we go. That one looks great. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this order shipped out on Tuesday. I'm sure they won't be mad if it's on Wednesday, but I like setting guidelines and goals, and I told them it was going to go out Tuesday, so I'm going to shoot for Tuesday. It'd be nice if I can get it done by and ready by Monday. Yeah, we're going to be pulling off the silicone here on the other ones in just a minute. They should be cooled off here. We got 7 more of these to powder coat, and then these will be going in the oven. I'll be spending all day. I'll be spending the equivalent to one whole workday just putting eyes and swivels on these baits. I am going to try to build up on these and try to keep a lot of these in stock, because these tackle stores, man, they're kicking my butt. The money's good, but it's just to be making a whole lot of them at one time. This summer I'll probably be stocking up on these here as much as I can. Yep, welcome back, man. I appreciate you coming back. Yeah, we got 120 people in here. We got 36 likes. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking it up. Reminds me of an old Kiss song. Like it up, like it up. I take that back. The song was Lick It Up. And, oh, yeah, they've been ordering a bunch. We gave them a really good price, too. I mean, I'm making money on them, and I make even more money if I'm having to work on a lot of these at one time. But I may, here in the next couple of weeks, just spend a day working on these. That way I can kind of build them up. It is crappie season now. We get all kinds of people sending me emails and texting me. One of these new colors is going to be on the website. They're getting ready to go fishing. They're going to ask me what colors would be great in Kentucky and everywhere else. I think this spring's going to be a really good spring. I think we're going to be hammered. And I don't mean that way in a drunk way. I think we're going to be hammered. Okay, one more to do, then these are going to the oven. Okay, let's get this off. Get these taken out of the oven. Let's get these put in the oven. Okay, let's get this moved over here. Get all my little niblets off. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna, oh, that one's already loose. Go ahead and just pull this off. Look at that, it just came out perfect. Look at that little thing wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, that's like completely clean right there. Yep, we do have Afterpay. Hey there, 12, how you doing? That fish will be hammered, yeah. Yeah, Albie's been catching bass with our lures. He's been catching a lot of bass lately. Albie is such a good guy. If you guys make sure to follow Albie, and here on YouTube it's keeping it Albie, and then if you get on TikTok it's just Albie Neely, and he puts content up all the time. Even on his Instagram he puts content up there. It just comes out clean. Man, it took so long to learn how to do this, and to do it, this is like really nice. This is going to look really good. It'll look good in the stores. These people won't have any issues with their spinners not spinning. Every now and then we'd get, you know, one that just wouldn't spin, but these are like really polished. These come out really good. The cool thing about it is I get to reuse this tube. That tube will get reused. These things pull off easy. Now I'm going to see what the difference is when we use the regular coating, like chartreuse. Yeah, I guess Crappie Man could probably use these too. I don't know what he uses on his underspins, but yeah, this would work for his baits too. Don't, man, doesn't Crappie Man jigs. Aren't you guys glad that he has a friend like me? Sometimes it just takes a little bit of trial and error. Kayak. Oh, that'll be good. That'll be good, Albie. Hey there, Russ. How you doing? How's it going there? Okay, now we're going to do 36 of these, so it'll be 6 rows of 6 on these here. Let me grab me a quick drink, and I got glitter all on me. I got that silver powder coating all on me. So we got to have 36 of these here. Oh, good, 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 good. There we go. You got to get it loose. Get the powder loose. Well, I've been doing good. I know it's Saturday night. We we will have some days when I get off here at 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But just getting these orders out, these big orders. And it'll be nice to get some kind of a break. But it'll be nice to this summer to not, basically to build up on inventory and summertime we get slow. It's kind of like the Christmas tree season. It's kind of seasonal. Well, it's that way with the crappie in the fishing world. We get about 3 months of just slow time. And usually that's when we do our traveling and we go to Texas and all that. A lot of times we do that during the summertime. This spring, if everything goes well, I'll get to go out and do some fishing. But when my wife's off this summer, we'll be slower, and we'll be able to do things together a lot more. And I'll be able to, hopefully, if my back's feeling better, I'll be able to get some of these little housing project type stuff done. Some of the honeydews. Oh golly, I was putting these on backwards. Uh-oh, no. Two, 4, 5. We're going to do one more row. And then we're gonna be doing our, with whatever these are all the extras. We'll be coming back and following up, doing some of these colors again. We'll be following back up with some of the colors that we've already done. Let's see. Yeah, thank you so much there, Clint. I just barely saw that. I appreciate it. If you're just popping in here, these are for plastic baits. These have a bait keeper, and then they have a swivel on there, and we're going to be attaching a spinner blade on here. They will be getting a spinner blade. And then I have silicone tubing on there that's going to protect the swivel. The ones I'm doing here are chartreuse green. We will be getting these in the oven here soon. Chartreuse is a color that likes to bleed. It likes to turn into cone heads. It's just one of them colors, and it is a protect color. It just likes to run. So I try to watch out with getting the head too hot. And so what comes into play a whole lot is this this little switch right there, that little lever that controls my fluid bed. You want it to be loose and free flowing, but you don't want it to be super loose because you want to get a good coating on your first round. And if you get it too loose and free flowing, it won't put a strong layer of powder coat on there, and you'll have to re-dip it in there. If you get it too dense, it'll pack on there. It'll be like too much paint, and then that's where you run into the cone heads. And I don't want to have any cone heads. Presley. Yeah, you can use these for crappie or bass or anything like that. You can use them for bluegill. You can use them for trout. These are going to be for plastic baits. So you can use these with crappie man jigs. You can use them for Bobby Garland plastics, crappie assassin baits, anything like that, cutthroat baits. These will get red eyes. These will have red eyes on them. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've been making underspins for plastics for a couple of years, but we just haven't really pushed them a whole lot. And it really helped out that we picked up 7 new stores out in Florida because a lot of them wanted these. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is going to give us a boost. This will help us. Hey, Zyro, how you doing? Yeah, the cookies are done. The cookies are done. Appreciate everybody in the channel. Thank you guys for coming in. These are for these are underspin baits for plastics. These are chartreuse. I'm really impressed with this silicone tubing. I'm going to buy some more of this tubing because it works really good, and I just want to make sure I have plenty. I want to make sure I got a bunch. So right now we have the ones that just got done in the oven. We have a fan blowing on them to cool them off. We got to have at least 36 of these. I'm going to probably do some extras. Bought a 16.4 roll of it for $10.99. You talk. Oh, you did. You did get the 16. Oh yeah, it's really good. Yep. And then I bought some. I bought some of this, and I don't know what dimension this is. It's a little bit smaller than the ones I'm using right now, but these will be for the eyelets. And it is a really good price. I think I got 20 feet of that. So when I'm done with the shrink tubing, I'm just going to switch over to that and use that for the eyelets. But this here is for the swivels that I got. I want to say it was 1/64 inch. I can't remember the dimensions that great. It is 2 millimeter. I think that's what it was, 2 millimeter. It worked out perfect. It came out perfect. Oh yeah. So this will be able to slide on also the number number 12. Swivel, I think what I have on here is the number 10 on these 16th ounce baits. But it'll also fit on the bigger swivel too, the ones that I have for the 1/4 ounce. We need to get our 1/4 ounce on the website. We don't even have them on the website. I do want to get our 1/4 ounce lures done, or put on the website. But yeah, this makes things a whole lot easier. I'm like, how do I get a polished look? And so I kept playing around with it. Now that I got to go to the Silicone. Let me just buy me a roll, see how it works. And I tried one lure with it, and I baked it, and I thought, okay, this is it. I think I struck gold. Where I've used silicone tubing before, and it didn't work so good. It didn't snug the swivel enough. And then I had silicone tubing that would shrink up on you when you put it in the oven. And this stuff here doesn't shrink up on you. Now you having the same problem too? Yeah. And I hate, that's one of the reasons we just hadn't pushed the underspins as much. Is because they don't look perfect. So I think our tackle store is going to be very well pleased with these. I think we'll get a lot of repeat orders. I think our website customers are going to be even more so pleased. Because we would have, every so often, we would have some of these jig heads that we just basically had to throw away. The swivel wasn't swiveling because we had paint all in it. And so I would call them casualties. Yeah, a lot of times it just takes trial and error. It takes a lot of ingenuity when it comes to being a bait maker. There's some things you just can't ask, somebody on a live stream, or you simply just can't watch a video and get everything that they're doing. And so a lot of times you just have to try things out, see if it works for you. What works for me may not work for the next person out there. Hey there, Outdoors. Hey there, Nolan. Found me a mold on that website. Oh, good. Did you use the code too? Did you use the Flow 10? Yeah, you'll save 10%. And Tackle Bandit's always happy when we do send them customers, because they do give me discounts at times when I go shopping there. And we do have our lures in their store too. Helped you out a bunch. Oh yeah, thank you. I have not bought it yet. Yeah, you'll save 10%, and a lot of times the 10%, I mean, it may not seem like a whole lot, but a lot of times it'll, that 10% will basically save you money in shipping. They may not be as low as some of these other websites, but once you factor in the 10% discount and the shipping, that it'll save you money. Then that's when the price becomes lower than their competitors. I've been very fortunate to be friends with Nate and do business with him, and I've seen his business grow from being in a shop like mine to like a huge building, and then they do wholesale distribution too to tackle stores. Oh, okay, okay. Let's see here. You do soft plastics right now? Yep. Yeah, it's soft plastics. If I mean, if I had to do bait making all over again, I I'd still be doing hand ties, but you can produce a lot more plastics than hand ties if you get good at it and get the right molds. Uh, and if you know how to run a business, you can make some decent money doing plastics. I mean, it's a lot of work, like everything else. But that's the main thing is if you have a good work ethic and you got a good sense of how to do a business, you know, you can do pretty well. You just have to, you got to have some longevity too. That's a big thing with doing a business. The longer you're out there, you know, and you get repeat customers, they'll keep coming back. They'll keep coming back. A lot of the customers that we have, there'll be people. They get baits from Cutthroat Baits. They get lures from Crappie Man Jigs and other hand tied guys. But they consistently put in orders with us too. You just got to build enough customers that are that way to have a stable business. And that's what people don't understand. 2, 4, 6. They think that customers only going to buy baits from them, and that's not the case. It's just never been that way. Okay, we're going to put this over here for a second. We're going to go right back into the chartreuse in just a minute. Okay. These are the ones that just came out of the oven. Oh yeah, Dallas, yeah. And that's the way it was with me. I started out with $50. That's what I had to start my. I mean, I wasn't intending on being in business, but it just kind of worked itself that way. How much does it cost to start out? I'm trying to get my fishing company started. It's you start out with however much you have. If you do hand ties, you just you do that. You just have whatever you have to start out with. In my case, I had about $50 to start out, and we were broke. We were poor. I was on workers' comp, wasn't able to work. I didn't do this to get into business by any means. I was making lures just for myself to go fishing. That's all that mattered to me. And catch fish, bring fish home, eat them. That was my main thing. I got a lot of really good breaks. I got where I was on some radio shows. Um, I had magazines and newspapers. That I got. There was a time I was catching 3 pound crappie in these lakes that weren't supposed to have 3 pound crappie, and so by the grace of God, I was able to get a lot of coverage or press, a lot of you know advertising. you know, free advertising. And so, you know, with that being said, you know, you start out with whatever you have, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I would say this: treat it as a business. If you're wanting to do it as a business, you know, you better, you know, put in the time, because business is not just about, you know, being casual and going, well, it's your business. It's your, you know, in my case, I just treat it like it was, you know, when I first started, it was just about me making baits for myself. But once we decided to call this a business, and I treated it as a business, I figured if I can work an 8 or 10 hour job day, you know, I can sure put that time into my business with lures. But I had a good work ethic in the sense, because we used to own restaurants. And if you own a restaurant, you're never working just 8 hours. You're always working a lot more than that. Let's see. Looks for a Vice starter kit with all the tools. Yep, that we have a starter kit with all that stuff in it. Our friend Dad owns a gas station. I'm trying to get my baits in there. Oh yeah. So, you know, you just have to treat it as a business. A lot of people make the mistake of, I'm going to get in the bait business, and they have no experience in it. If you don't have any experience in it, you're probably not going to last. And I'm just being honest. You know, we want to be honest, don't we? If you don't have any experience or any study into it, it's just hard for those guys. It's harder for those guys to get in it. You know, there's a lot of things that factor with the business. If you know how to run a business, there's a lot of guys that know how to run a business. They do pretty decent. But some of those guys have really cruddy baits. Some of those guys have a cruddy work ethic. And then there's some guys that they make really good baits. They just don't know how to run a business. And so a lot of things factor into it. You know, it's like any other business, whether it's roofing or owning a hot dog stand or something like that. You know, you just gotta, you know, there's a lot of people out there with the passion to go fishing and to have a passion for fishing. But, you know, it's like I had a passion to play golf. I loved playing golf, but was I any good at playing golf? I was decent, but I wouldn't never, you'd never see me out there on the playing tournaments and stuff like that, you know. So it's just, you make it whatever you want to make it, you know. If it's your side gig, it's your side gig. Yep. Yep, we do have a starter kit for fly tying / jig making. It's called the Terra Royal Coachman Toolkit. You get it all for $45. It comes with all the tools. Oh, is that the one? I don't even know where the one is. That was, yeah, that one that dropped in the fluid bed. It came out good, because I don't even see it. You know. Yeah, I think it came out really good, because I didn't even notice it. But yeah, we do have a good starter kit. It comes with the vise and all the tools. It's not going to come with the fancy spinning vise like mine, but you're going to have all the tools in it, and you'll see whether you like it or not after a month or two. Yeah, it's a good way to get into it. Okay, these all here are going to be reusable, and I really like that. You know. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more baits. And turn that back on. We're gonna do basically 3 of every bait. That way we make some extras. So they do come in 3 to a pack when you buy them, and they do come in 3 to a pack when you purchase them from our site. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you throw down a like and subscribe. I do a lot of bait making. That's what I do. I'll be doing some fishing hopefully this spring too, so you'll get to watch me, uh, you know, either make a fool of myself or look like a genius out there. You guys will get to watch me look like a fool or be a genius out there on the water. I've been doing this for 2 years, and one of my friends saw that I sold a lot. He makes, oh yeah, well, cool. Yeah, that's, I mean, how I got into doing it was I made them for myself and some of the guys at the local fishing dock, which we were blessed to have an indoor-outdoor dock here at Claremore. And that's where I started my crappie fishing. Before then, I never really went crappie fishing or ate any crappie. And that's how I got into doing it. And I saw these old guys, they were using these little bitty hand-tied lures. And it seemed like they were catching a whole lot more crappie than I was with my plastic baits. And so that gave me the idea of, hey, I probably want to try to use those baits. And so one of them gave me a lure, and I caught a lot of crappie that day, but I couldn't find the baits. And as it turned out, he tied lures, and I don't think I ever saw that. Well, I saw him maybe a few times after that, but I thought, man, I need to start buying these baits, but I couldn't find any. I'd go to Bass Pro. I went to my local tackle store, and I couldn't find any 1/100th, not 1/80th ounce lures or 64th ounce lures. And so I bought me a little fly tying kit from Nabatac Outdoors in Claremore, and that began my bait making, adventure. And not long after that, I was catching a lot of really big crappie, and some of the locals wanted to start buying them. And so I would sell them for like a quarter a piece or 50 cents a piece. And then before I knew it, people were putting in these orders for custom baits. And so I started making custom lures for them. And I was able to ask for a little bit more money. And probably about a couple of months into making baits, there was a guy that owned a tackle store in town. And he asked if I could make baits for him. And so I did. I started tying for him. I used his label, his packaging, and he supplied me with feathers and jig heads in the beginning. And then he saw that my jig heads were a lot better than his jig heads after I started making jig heads. He would just buy, went up in price as far as him paying me. And then it got to the point where he had other people tie baits for him too. And it got to the point where when they would come into the store, they were like, I want to buy the baits that Ruben tied, not these other guys. And it got to a point where we had a friendly breaking up as far as doing business with each other, because he had like 3 or 4 other people tying baits for him. And he got tired of customers coming in going, I want baits that Ruben ties. And so he thought it was good that I break off and go on my own. I thought the same thing too. And that's where the Ruben Flores Jig Company, started. His company was called Crappie Time Jigs. Really good guy. His name's Dennis, Jack Dennis. And he owned JD's Tackle in Claremore. One of the good Christian guy. Good guy. But from after that, we had the name Green Country Jig Company. We also had Hill Country Jigs. And when we got really serious and we're like, okay, we're going to do all our tax stuff, my wife, I was thinking, well, what do we call this company? And my wife was like, why don't we just call it the Ruben Flores Jig Company? You know, everybody knows you already. And so that's what we went with. We went with the Ruben Flores Jig Company. And so anyway, it's just been a really good venture. It's been fun doing what I do, and I love making baits. I wish I would have started doing this when I was 13, 14 years old. There's no telling where I'd be. I'd probably be 100 air. I'd be a 100 air. I'd probably be 1,000 air. What is that sound? I hear something on TV. I think it's something on TV. I sure hope it's not some animal. Hey, let me check, see what's going on. Oh, I hear basketball. That's what I hear, the squeaking. I hear a lot of squeaking going on. Well, let me just get that off. Again, I do appreciate you guys in here. Make sure to throw down a like and subscribe. That's probably the biggest way to support a channel here. And feel free to ask questions. There's some things I just don't answer, and that's, you know, where do I get all my molds from? You know, the pillhead molds. I don't share, you know, that and some of the other information. And it's because I run a business, and I want to stay in business. And if everybody has everything that I have, you know, then they will eventually, you know, basically sell the same product, you know. And I don't want any of that happening, but I do give out a lot of tips and pointers for people, and I want a lot of people to succeed too with what they do, you know. I am 12, will be 13 in a few days. With a little bit of money, would be a huge bait maker. That'd be good. You just got to stay at it. Yeah, you got to stay at it. You just got to keep on doing it, and you'll get better. You'll get faster. You're going to find different ways to do things. And, you know, any little tips and pointers you can get from somebody like me and other guys out there that have been doing it a while. You know, a lot of times, you know, there's information that I throw out that you may be thinking, well, you know, that's not useful for me. But in the next 5 or 10 years, you know, something happens to where it's like, you know what? You know, I couldn't use that information back then, but I can sure, you know, I'm going to use that information now. You know, there have been so many times that, and I'm not just talking about lure making, I'm just talking about things in life where something that somebody was given a tip and pointer about something, and it didn't have any application to me. But, you know, a few years down the road it did, you know. That's one thing, you know, when it comes to bait making, and a lot of times people will come up and ask, you know, do I have any tips and pointers? They're just starting out, you know, making baits, whether it be fly fishing flies or hand-tied lures, and you know, my advice is just really simple. If you love it, keep doing it. You know, if you don't love it, you know, you don't have to do it. Another thing is always be a learner, be a student. There's things that I learn all the time, like this silicone tubing. I finally got it right after so many years, you know, and there's things that you know, you can always learn from somebody else, and there's always things you can learn by just simple trial and error, you know. trying something out, and it may work, it may not work. And that's how one of the big things with me mixing powder coats and making my own color of powder coating is just trial and error, and be willing to try something out. Now, if you're mixing powder coats together, you always got to be willing and go, okay, I'm going to make a small batch of it. Am I willing to lose this amount of powder coat? Am I willing to sacrifice this amount? Because if you make something and it doesn't turn out good, you know, you're probably going to have to throw it away. You know, so my thing is just have fun doing what you're doing. Enjoy yourself. Jesus loves you too. I appreciate you there. Thank you so much. Yep. Yeah, the time it becomes no joy to you in your life, and you're not having fun or you're enjoying it, that's probably the time you need to get out of it, you know. And that happens to a lot of people, that they want to get in the bait business, and 3 months later they're stuck in the bait business. They quit their job and they're having to make a living. They got to pay bills. They got a wife. They got a couple kids. They got another kid on the way, and they just don't enjoy what they're doing, you know. Ooh, hey, look at that there. Look at that there. Okay, so I have enough of the colors of all I need. And here's my little tip and pointer for you here. This is the tip of the day. You got a couple extra. I got 3 extras right there, guys. I could almost guarantee that someone's going to buy a couple of packs, and I'm going to be short. Now, those are the last 3 that I have that are unpainted. If I have to produce more, I have to pour them. And so I'm just going to let those stay on the side there. I have 1 extra pack of every color, just in case somebody buys one tonight or the next night. I do know that next week sometime I'll be pouring some of these, but I do have a couple of extra ones made up already, because odds are somebody tonight's going to buy one of these packs, and they're going to want to buy some. And odds are they may buy 2 packs, and I only have 1 extra pack, so that's why I have those right there. So, okay, let's get this dude turned off. I'm going to lean this up here. I'll put those in the oven tomorrow. But what I am going to do, I'm going to take the ones out of the oven, and I'm going to go ahead and peel them off. And go ahead and get these peeled out. Okay, these are the chartreuse ones. Now, this paint here is a little bit different than the disco colors. Yeah, these are the disco. These are not the disco. These are just a regular paint. So it is loose. You see it wiggle, wiggle. And we're going to pull it off. And oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that little gorgeous beast. That's going to get a spinner blade on there. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit tougher. Let's go ahead and break it off. And there it is. It's, okay, it broke loose. It's free spinning now. Yeah, I was wondering about these heads here, because the disco paint is a lot different than the regular straight colors. Yep, there's another one there that's going to need a little more influence. There we go. We got it loose. There's another one there. Yeah, it's a little bit different. So I am painting with these with the heat gun on a low heat. Sometimes you get the heat too hot, and it'll make your swivel brittle when you're painting it on a high heat. And when that happens, it makes the swivel weaker, you know, and you don't need it to be weaker. See it? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. But they do look a lot cleaner. They do look a lot cleaner than the other ones I did a week ago or so. Yeah, we already had our reorder. We've already had a customer reorder a bunch of these. They were actually selling out of a lot of colors, and we're going to have some reorders this upcoming week too. Oh, well, thank you there, Clint. Yeah, this silicone. Tonight I'm gonna buy another pack of this just to keep on hand. Now, something that'll happen with silicone tubing too is if you have the heat too high, over time it'll start brittling up. It'll want to get brittle on you. Oh, that one's just, come on out there. Come on. Here we go. And so just over time, it happens with all silicone. It'll dry out basically, especially if you're using the heat gun at hot with, you know, on a hot temperature. You know, let's say hot, on the highest temperature, it'll want to brittle out. So again, make sure to subscribe this evening if you haven't already. Set your notifications. I go live. I don't have a certain time that I go live, and that's just basically because I run a business, and on the weekends I do run a little bit later, you know, into the evening. But a lot of times I'm in the shop during the week. You know, we're talking 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm in, and it makes for a long day for me to do a nighttime live stream. Makes for a long day. Okay, we're going to flip this around. Okay. Let me get the backlight off. Okay, guys, so we'll catch you guys later. We have 94 people in here watching, guys. I appreciate you guys. So make sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you sometime tomorrow. You guys have yourself a good night. And again, we'll see you guys in the morning sometime. I don't think we're going to be going into church tomorrow. My wife's still not feeling the greatest right now. And so we will catch you guys later. You guys be good. Good night. And God bless you guys. You guys be good. Bye-bye.